Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Figure Drawing Day 16. We're slowly catching up, just gonna wrap it all up into one and upload maybe like 3 a day, but this is already halfway through, starting at 10 and now at 16, and the latest video to do is 21, so maybe upload 3 a day, once every 8 hours. But I'm only sort of talking to let the time lapse have enough time to play through and not go too fast. Once again, thanks to Love Life Drawing for providing Figuary and CroquisCafe for providing the models and all these different poses to exercise figure drawing and sketching anatomy in general. Today's poses were also quite interesting and have a lot of variations, I think, and we shall see. There's one very favorite pose that I like to draw, but I will not spoil you the fun. Hopefully it's fun to watch this episode or watch this self-critique. But without further ado, let's get started. So here we have this yoga looking kind of pose. Spent a little bit too much time on trying to get this hair totally not worth, and they kind of missed out on the page. But with this sort of simple drawing of just drawing these straight lines down for the arms, and then we have this sort of curved back. There's not enough curves for the butt, but you know, and then just sort of straight down on the legs. And whoa, this hand still needs to go a little bit higher. It needs to go a little bit higher there. But yeah, definitely spent too much time, so it's not a good start. But that's how most of my figure drawings go. The first one is usually not great, still warming up. But the next one, really like this pose and just wanted to exaggerate this curve, even though she's not curved. It looks flat, but let's exaggerate that curve a little bit to show more character. It's not the curve ending here. It goes and flows down along this leg and then ends on the ground. So it's like this long curve and then just goes all the way around. And with the body, there seems to be like a few folds, so try to just draw that in. If I just drew straight, I think it would just look too flat, so I needed sort of a little bit of dimension and so it doesn't look too flat. And this isn't just a shoulder bending down, but actually we get to see a lot of the back, so I try to indicate that a little bit with the shoulders coming down. Kind of missed out on the neck. She does have a neck in this one, and then this is her head. No neck here. Needs to check that for next time. And hands are okay, but I think the strong point of this sketch overall were the legs. Need to work on the hands. Observe where the neck is once again in relation to the head. Head was angled okay, passable, nothing special. I think this backhand was also quite okay as well, just coming down from the back side, maybe a little bit too skinny there, and also sort of this foot not being bent based on the original, so not so good on that part. I would also say, like, again, this knee and this part is too small. Like, I sort of start this leg here, but this section of the leg should be up here, and so the knee could begin and go down as it should be, maybe a little bit lower, but you get the idea. This section needs to move up, so there's room for the lower part of the leg to actually be at a correct length, which again is here. It's not too far from the original knee. So moving on. This one I really like, this sort of nice curve going down here, and then this sort of longer line of going down. well, a lot more complicated lines coming out on the other side. And I finished this hand last during the sketch. It just comes out on the side of the body and it is what it is. Upper hand lost not enough paper, shame on me. Tried to curve the hair to follow along the side of her body, which leads to the shoulder maybe not long enough. Not sure what this was about, making the waist looking a little bit too thick in my opinion. Lower leg not long enough again, but the back side kind of had its own flow to it that is expected, I suppose. Next pose here, kind of exaggerate the angle of the head, is not as angled. Also, this shoulder looks to be coming up way too much. It could be going a little bit smoother and slightly more outward. Legs goes up, and then the arms had a quite nice sort of connection. Not one body part needed to stretch to reach the other in time. This knee definitely should be a little bit longer, and that's sort of, I think, due to the fact that I put this backside a little bit too far back, and if it were sort of placed more correctly, then this could be placed correctly, blocking this side of the leg, and then it would just go straight down per usual. This backside arm, nothing really to mention except this part on the upper area of the arm could be slightly longer, I think. This one was the pose that I was sort of talking about, just curved over. And I don't know if it's this one or maybe a future one where it's like this pose is repeated, which is always fine. It's just more poses to exercise. The biggest thing that I think I keep making mistake is sort of this length of the body is just way too long. But the legs curving over, I think is fairly okay. This one seems to not have enough like curving over, and so the lower part looks a little bit too small. This one is like okay, the upper area is okay, but I think it's the lower part that needs improving. Hands look too skinny. The arm is actually going down much more and upward, but that's because again the body was like way too long. I would need to fix that for next time. And this is the most favorite pose of this session, sort of this crouching down. I don't really like sort of drawing people that are more stretched out, like these sort of figures like yoga poses where people are like trying to become looking as small as possible. Has like a lot of like arms curving around like a knot. It looks like, I don't know, it looks artistic. A lot of photography, they do that quite a bit. So with the 5 minutes, try to indicate the shadows, and here there's like some highlight. Then on the other side there's sort of dark, and then we have another side of large dark side over here, and this just gives form, so that's important to the pose to draw that in. Biggest mistake I made would be missing out on this neck once again. Because I missed out on the neck, the head when I was drawing was not able to stretch out, in which case I missed out on the jaw area, where here it's more like she's really bending her neck over and she's really like facing down here. So this one is more bending like at 90 degrees, and her face is a little bit higher than original. But beyond that, I think I really like how this one turned out. Could use a little bit more space in this spot and the feet. But really like this pose. And that will be the end of today's figure drawing self critique journal. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.